Girls, in this video, we're going to do a quickly recap on adding and subtracting integers from year 7. If you feel that you need a little bit more of revision or explanation of how to do this, go to the video that is in your digital book of year 7, because I'm not going to go in detail of why or explanation, if that makes sense. I'm just going to do a few of examples here from the book. Hopefully that will help you to remember how to do this. Okay, so let's get into it. So question 3. Let's do A. So question A says that we have to do -3 plus 2. So remember that we always want you to start with number lines. If you can already do it in your head perfectly, if you feel that you need the number line just to help you out, do the number line. Okay, so I start with 0, and then my starting point is -3, so I'm going to go -1, -2, -3 here. And then I have a plus sign, which means that I'm going to go to the right, and I have to go how many steps? 2 steps, which means that I end up in -1. And that will be my answer. So this one is equal to -1. Beautiful. B. Let's do B. Before I do B, I want you to show you how to do this in your calculator, because what I want you to do is to do it by hand in the way that I'm doing it here, and check your answers with your calculator so that you get used to using your calculator with integers as well. So when you go to your calculator, I'm just going to clear this up. So it's negative. So the negative that you have to use is this key over here, the down here. If you use this one, that's take away, and you're going to have mistakes here. Okay, so I want you to go -3 plus 2 equals -1. Beautiful. So that was my answer before. Good. Now my second question is -7 plus take away 3. Okay, this is what happens here. The way that I see this is, where's my starting point? -7. Then I'm adding other -3. So if I think about my number line and I have my -7s here, I know that this one is going to be -8 and -9 and so on, agree? And somewhere there is going to be a 0. Okay, and to that side is going to be a positive. So my starting point is -7, so I'm starting here. Then I have a plus, which means that I'm looking to I have to go to the right, agree? But then I have a negative, which means change of direction. And then they say that I have to add 3 to those ones. So 1, 2, 3. So my final point is -10. So my answer is -10. Okay, and if we do it here, clear, -7 plus -3, -10. Beautiful. So that's my answer. Okay, let's do C. C says 6 plus -7. So the way that I read this is 6, I'm adding -7. So I know what is happening here is the following. I'm starting at 6. So I'm going to start, let's say my 6 is going to be here. And then, so here is going to be 7. I'm talking about positive, agree? And here is going to be 5. Wonderful. And so we get right here is going to be 0, like 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Here, 0. Okay, wonderful. And I started in +6. Then I have a plus sign, which means that I'm looking to the right. And then it says negative sign, which means change of directions. And how many steps? Then I have to do 7 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which means that I end up in -1. So let's do this one. Clear, -6. What's the question? Plus -7. No, sorry, 6 plus -7. And I get to -1. I just want to show you what happens if I don't use this negative. So if I do 6 plus, and then I try to use this as a negative, -7, look what I'm going to get. Error. I have a syntax error. So remember that to use your negative sign here, it has to be this one, okay? And then 7, and then I get to -1. Beautiful. Okay, Let's do a few of question 4 here that I have here. So if I go here, so I have question 4a. So I have 7 plus -2. 7, take away +2. Okay, same thing. So I'm starting at 7, my number line. Then I have a negative, which means that I'm going to be looking towards the left. But then I have a positive, which means that I remain in the same direction. I don't change anything. And then I have to move 2 steps. So 6, 5. So the answer for this one is going to be 5. And if I look up here, 7 plus -2 and 5, my final answer. Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to do F because this one has bigger numbers, which is what we want you to get used to doing. So for example, this one is -28, take away 12. Okay, so I do my number line and I'm going to go -28. I'm going to put it here. Okay, -28. That's my starting point. Agree? Then just put some reference numbers so that you know where you're going. So you go that this one is going to be -27, or -26, -25. So I'm just going to put this one as a reference number, and you can put the other one like -30 on the other side. So that's to make sure that your number line is constructed correctly. The 0 is going to be somewhere around there. Agree? Somewhere like a little bit further than this, but it's going to be there around that, in that direction is going to be my 0. Okay, so my starting point is -28. Wonderful. Then I have a negative, which means that I'm going to move to the left. Then I have another negative, which means change directions. So now I'm going to move in that direction. And I'm going to move in that direction. How many steps? 12 steps. So if I move there in 12 steps, I can draw it, but it's going to take longer. But I know that this -28 is going to become bigger by 12 steps, which means that is going to be -16. Because I can see that this -28, if I move 12 steps towards the right, is going to end up being in -16. So that's why hopefully you will be able to get to do in your head. If you still need to draw all your number line, you can do it, and you can verify there that if you do the 12 steps. So if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 y 12. Sorry. Sometimes it's easier for me to count in Spanish. So yes, I said that the 0 was going to be around here in some place, but here's -26, -24, -23, -22, -21, -20, -19, -18, -17, and this one is -16. So yes, I got to the correct place, that it was this one. Okay, and if we do it in our calculator, it's going to be -28, take away -12, and that, -16, my answer. Okay, beautiful girls.